Hello fellow exiles, welcome to my guide of the Cold Witch. This build basically evolves around one keystone, which is the Chaos Innoculation. This provides immunity towards all chaos damage, which is the only damage that can go through your energy shield. Gives you 50% more energy shield and increases your makes your life 1. So basically what this build focuses on is spell critical strike, increased cold damage, some mana regeneration, and increasing your energy shield. I've also taken a point in Hexmaster, which makes your curses permanent. It's pretty nice to have. So, what have I done with this build? I've started off here, taking the increased critical strike chance of spells, going into some increased cold damage, going down towards increased buffs, and then taken increased energy shield and increased energy shield over here. I'll also move down here, which is increasing my maximum mana, mana regeneration, energy shield increase, increased cold damage, more energy shield, crit. Moving down towards the shadows part of the tree, picking up some more crit, cold damage, elemental damage, and spell damage, and as well increasing my energy shield down here. Yeah. So that is basically what I've done for this build so far. What you want to focus on from the start is taking these points over here, then moving here, taking a bit of increased energy shield before you take Chaos Innoculation. Then I recommend moving down here, maybe taking one of these, while then moving further down here. And once you're down here by the shadow part of the tree, either take more damage or more energy shield, depending on how you feel you're doing. If you feel that you're not tanky enough and your energy shield isn't as much as you'd hope for, go for this instead of this part first, and then you might want to take this before you're taking the this part as well. So as I've said, this build focuses on crit, which will freeze your enemies. We have taken up some crit here and over here, and cold damage, and you'd basically want to focus with focus on energy shield gear. So you're gonna go with gear which has full energy shield, no other stats. Increased HP is the most useless thing you can ever have on this build, because your maximum life is always 1. So don't take any gear with increased HP, don't take any gear with health regen, it will not help you at all. So energy shield, intellect, mana, crit, spell damage is all really nice. When it comes to auras, you want to pick up 2 of them. One is Discipline, and one is Clarity. Discipline increases your energy shield, Clarity increases mana regeneration. Both spells you'll get from quests, I'm pretty sure now, with the new quest reward system, that you get your energy shield a bit later on, but before 31, which is when you can use it. So, when it comes to gems, this build focuses on a spell called Freezing Pulse, which is then combined with greater multiple projectiles, or lesser, depending on what level you are. As some of you might have seen in the one of the Build of the Week with videos where a Templar was using the same setup, you can align all your Freezing Pulse projectiles in a straight line, which means you can stack 3 of them up in a straight line. I think this is one of the only spells you can actually manage to do that with, which makes it so great on just this spell. This means that if you pick up greater multiple projectiles, your Freezing Pulse will be 5 projectiles. When you align them up, one person will be hit by all 5 of them, and it's a really good damage increase. I'd focus on using the Freezing Pulse with greater multiple projectiles, faster attacks, and then you can combo it up depending on how many slots Your gear has some of the choices you could have is reduce mana cost, increase critical strike chance, and so on. You can play around with it a bit. The mana cost gets quite hefty after a while, so these mana nodes over here will help you out a bit. You're also going to be using Ice Spear, which is more of your long-range attack. Comboing that up with Elemental Proliferation also helps and increase crit. But you'll have to play around with that a bit, depending on what gems you have available. So, when it comes to the playstyle of this build, Freezing Pulse isn't such a long-range spell, so you'll mostly be in melee range of most enemies, depending on how fast you are and how good you are at kiting. And you'll use your Ice Spear for longer range engagements. You can freeze enemies quite easily with Ice Spear because of the crit chance is much longer if you're further away when you cast Ice Spear. So that's also a good way of taking out yellow enemies which you don't want to deal with in melee range. You won't be using your summons as much with this build. It's good to have, but it's nothing I used very frequently when I played this. It's more for distracting enemies if you need to run away, or if you're fighting Necros, you might want to rest some zombies just so he won't rest the minions again. But otherwise, you're not going to be using minions a lot. So that is it for this build. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, good luck using it.